Welcome to Apollo Racing Club, and we are doing some F4 racing today here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. My name is Secret, and I'm going to be your commentator for today for, I believe, if I am not mistaken, the first broadcast of the F4 division. Although it's the first stream, it's round 5. So there's been a lot of racing that I'm going to have to do some catching up with, but I can't do all the catching up by myself. And so with me, I've got my good friend who you guys at Apollo Racing Club have seen before. I've got Mr. Biggles in the booth with me. Biggles, welcome to Dallara F4 Cars.
G'day, yes, I'm excited. Not that familiar with the Formula 4 cars, but you're going to be able to provide me that information. I'll try my best to do all the camera action and the broadcast work.
I'll be trying my best.
They haven't seen me before. They've seen my top hat, but they've heard me in the IndyCar that we have, obviously, here at Apollo Racing as well, too, for the IndyCar series.
They've never seen or heard me before, so this is going to be very interesting to see how this one goes. Now, Biggles, what should we start with? Because we are in a practice session right now. Qualifying begins in about 10 minutes, so we have a lot to catch up on in those 10 minutes. So we gotta speed run things. We gotta speed run a little bit of things. So what do we think we start with? Format, standings, who's good, who's not? What do you think, Biggles?
Well,
I'll leave it up to you.
All right. Well, we can show the standings real quick. That's for sure. Yeah, I have
Let's
that.
do those standings.
So we'll pull that up there, and there it is.
Yep. So see the standings. It's Ethan Lamp at the top of the standings with 206 points through 4 rounds here. He won at Road America. He won at Barber, he won at Laguna Seca, and an uncharacteristic P13 at Imola after a crash leaves him on a 206 points. And then you have to go nearly over 50 whole points back to get to the man in second place, Aiden Aquino. That's a hell of a name for one amazing driver. P2, P2, P7, and P10, slightly less consistent, but still absolutely all over it is that man. And rounding out the top 3 is Derek Stack, who hasn't done as well as the top 2 as far as consistently goes, and by that I mean had a P15 at the first race, but since that first race, since that P15, P4, P4, P2, we got models of consistency at the front of the grid, and I believe I was told before the race that the top 2 in this championship both have over 5,000 iRating. Excuse me?
Wow. Yeah, can you explain what that means with the over 5,000 iRating to noobs like me?
Yes, so so basically anyone who's never done iRacing before, there's an iRating system. How iRating works is when you finish your race, you are assigned kind of points, and you have a total points, right? Normally how it works is if you finish in the top half of the field, you will gain points. If you finish in the bottom half, you will lose. I think you can lose or gain anything from like up to 100 points in either direction. So it can be a big swing for consistency. And well, I like to consider myself okay at the Vigi game, and I only have about 1,900 iRating on the road side. And so these guys with 5,000 is absolutely alien. These guys are incredible at this game.
That's good to know, and you are as well too. You actually do a bit of a lot of iRacing and a couple of times in the F4s, right?
Not really in the F4s. They aren't my thing. I've been doing more endurance recently. You know, the Porsches, the Dallara LMPs. I ran Sebring a little while ago. That was very fun. But we're not here about me. We're here about these drivers and the pressure these drivers are under. Because Biggles, there is some cash prizes in store for these drivers today. They are competing for some massive in-game monies. The winner, there is a $50 prize pool available for this race, Biggles. $50, right? And 25 of those $50 is going to go to the winner.
That sounds good. And what is it, cash?
Yeah.
So sign me up, of course. I'm doing up into. Oh, there's a spin at the moment. You said we're going to talk about that in a minute, but yeah, prize pools for sure.
So $25 for the winner, $15 for second place, $3 for 10th place. But $10 for third place. Jesus. But I'm assuming that is over the course of the weekend, because the format we got going on here is there is a sprint race and a feature race in this weekend. How the sprint race works is it's directly based off of the grid from qualifying. How you qualify is where you start in the sprint, and in the sprint race, should you come in P1, you will get a whole 24 points. Second gets 22, and then it goes from 21 all the way down to a single point for 23rd. And then, however you finish in that sprint race directly correlates to where you start the feature race. So if you win the sprint, you put yourself in perfect position to win that feature race. 36 points on offer for the winner of the feature race, 31 for second, 27 for third, 24 for fourth, 22 for fifth, and so on, all the way down until 30th that gets 1 point. And there's some bonus points as well. Who's the fast guy? Are you a qualifier? This is your chance to get some bonuses. Pole position will land you 1 additional bonus point. Leading a lap, any lap. Could be the first because you got lucky with everyone crashing at turn 1. Could be because you're going long on a fuel stint in the middle of the race. Could be because you won the race at the end. If you lead a lap, any lap, you will get 1 additional bonus point. If you do every iRacer's fantasy, you find a way to get a 0x. You don't go off the track once. You do not hit anybody. You have 0 infractions. You run the cleanest race you can. That will be 2 additional bonus points because we here at Apollo Racing Club, we promote clean racing and we will reward you if you can get it done. And finally, Biggles, if you lead the most laps, you're consistently at that front, so even if you crash out at the end, it's a shame you led every lap. You at least take solace and you get a whole 3 additional bonus points to get it done.
And how's this for a fantastic caster, ladies and gentlemen, out there with Secret? Because, yeah, I think we just stepped in the last 30 minutes or so. And look at all that information you have already.
Yeah.
You've done your homework. I'm seeing this little battle at the moment. Oh, oversteer moment. I hope they want the board with Aiden. And yeah, it's led through. And I'm sure they're realizing that this is just a practice session, but I guess having some fun.
It is just a practice session, but Aiden needs all the practice he can get. He's been in this session now for, I think, about 40 minutes. Really trying to put in the miles because he has to. Because he is tracking down someone who hasn't set a lap in this session yet, Ethan Lamp. You might notice there's some guy named Riley Sullivan in the session. He's not racing. That's actually me, because the session kind of messed up. It didn't allow me to join as a spectator. So although I am on the leaderboard, I am not being scored. So just ignore that for now. But we are going to have to pay close attention to this championship battle. It's only a 12-round championship, Biggles, and this is already round 5. So Mr. Aiden Aquino is going to have to absolutely flying this round if he wants to try and close that gap. How big is that gap again? Let's see. It's, oh, yeah, just a calm, casual 58 points. And just for reference to everyone again, in case you missed it, you can only get a maximum of 60 points over the course of, well, actually you can get up to, like, what is that? You can get up to 66 points. 66 points is the max you can get over a weekend, so, and, well, you can't get 0 points. That's not possible. The points format allows for everybody to score points. So really, it's looking unlikely that Mr. Aiden is going to be taking the championship lead at the end of this race.
Yeah, we just watched Ethan go into the fence. So then that's the man that still has yet to set a lap in practice.
Well, Rodriguez, it's funny you mentioned that. You're talking about going into the fence because we are here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This track is tough. This course almost seems like America's answer to Brands Hatch almost. It's got undulating corners everywhere, a couple long straights for overtaking. It almost seems perfectly suited for GT cars, but here we are running the IR4s around it. And I guess we'll, is there anyone we can go for an onboard lap with, Biggles? Anybody? Actually, no, we'll save that for qualifying. We'll save that for qualifying. Drivers are truly unleashing. Because again, practice, you don't know. People are on heavy fuel, people are on light fuel. You never know. You're going to have to pay really close attention.
We have our sponsors, obviously, to shout out, as you can see that's scrolling on top of the ticker. So that's Grid Finder that you have, and that's Grid Finder services. Obviously, you're aware of that. You can find casters, you can find drivers, you can find broadcasters, you can find everything. That's what Grid Finder is. You just sign up to that, put all the information in. Oh, he's really struggling right now. Sorry, that's Ethan to get even a lap in. He's still driving 10 times better than I would. And driver 61 as well, mate. So driver 61 is the way if you can get the coaching and all that jazz that you need. If you want to get better, obviously, at iRacing, just go see those lads, mate. They'll find a coach for you.
I think I should maybe sign up for that. This is a very, very tricky course. It's very easy to run wide because there's those yellow curves on the exit of a lot of the fast turns. And basically what the yellow curves do is they kind of act almost as a barrier. Like if you dip your outside tires onto those yellow curves, they will kind of stop you from going over the edge, but your car will also kind of get stuck and bottom out on top of them. So it's a risk-reward thing. You won't go wide, but you also run the risk of maybe spinning when you get off the curve. So do you think most of these drivers, considering the nature of how difficult this track is, are going to be eating up those curves, trying to get maximum track width? Or do you think they're going to lay off them a little bit and maybe give the track a bit of the respect it deserves, considering some of the spins we've been seeing in practice?
I think that I think we're going to see a few cars spin around. We've seen that through the practice session. You'll see it during the qualifying as I push out a little bit more. During the race, hopefully not so much. Obviously, during the races, plural, as we mentioned. Sprint race and a feature race, as well as that qualifying session that will be coming up soon.
Yep.
On top of it, Twitch chat, g'day. I am reading the Twitch chat as well, so if you guys want to pop in, say hi, shout out anything, and let us know if there's any information that you'd like to relay us if you missed it. Because, of course, it's our first time casting the Apollo Racing Club iRacing Championship for F4.
Yep.
Ethan goes quickest right now. Sets a 122.45. That's the 95 car there. So, yep, there it is, mate. He took a little bit to get a lap in, but when he did get a lap in, he got the fastest.
You know who else was number 95?
So.
Lightning McQueen.
Oh, really?
Absolute booming race car vehicles. That's how fast this man Ethan is trying to go. He's trying to be Lightning McQueen. He's going to go ka-chow on the entire grid. He's going to try and ka-chow his way through this entire race. Because, you know what? That's what his championship would need. Because you know how amazing it would be to, say, have like a 70-point gap with only 6 races to go? Or 7 races to go?
Yes.
You can afford to lose 10 points every single round for the rest of the season and still win. Although, obviously, he's not thinking about that. Ethan has, he's already won 3 times this season, so he's just going to be trying to extend his points lead.
So, Goldie out there, g'day. She was asking. And hello there, the Moose Motorsports. How many laps will the race be? We have 2. We have a sprint and then a feature. So, it's going by time than laps. So, you want to recall that again, my friend? Yes,
so it's going to be a 15-minute qualifying session followed by a 15-minute a 15-minute sprint race, my bad, and then we will have a 25-minute feature race. And that is going to be the format going forward for this race, as well as some of the races for the rest of the season, because this, I didn't actually mention this, it alters from week to week. For example, next week, the championship is going to be going to Sebring, and that is a 1-race event. Only 1 race. So there won't be a feature race or anything, or there won't be a sprint race, feature race. It'll just be 1 race, the Sebring IR04 Grand Prix. But I just heard the engines die out, actually, and I believe we don't got to worry about Sebring right now. We got to worry about what's going on at Mid-Ohio, because, well, I mean, we're running, Biggles. So let's take a look as the cars are flying out of the grid already. And first car out is going to be Max Ducklow in the, I believe that's the Wisconsin Badgers, I believe, Biggles? That big W, that's Wisconsin, right?
Oh, I have no idea, mate.
I don't go to, neither of us go to college in the States, we don't know, but I do believe that is Wisconsin. I hope it is. Oh yeah, it is Wisconsin. It says it on the side of the car. See, Biggles, I'm a genius and I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I knew you were a genius anyway.
I watch March Madness. So yeah, 15-minute qualifying session. All these drivers, I don't think they're going to be doing individual fuel runs. I think they're just going to throw enough fuel in to run the whole session, because that's the thing with these lower downforce cars, is that typically they run with a, not really a softer or harder compound, but a kind of more malleable compound that it just takes a lot of time to heat up, get up to speed. So multiple laps, I do believe, will be the strat for this qualifying session. I don't know how many laps they're going to get in. They were running 122, so they're probably going to get around 5 or 6 quality laps before the tires go off too much. Maybe they'll make 1 pit stop. I don't see it happening too much, so let's see. Should we go on board with Max Ducklow for his first flying
let's do it. I was just about to call it, for sure.
All right. Wisconsin. Let's see what Mr. Wisconsin can do. I'm going to hop in the cockpit with him to get a real view. So, going down into T1, it's actually deceptively tight because you see all that track, but in reality, there's a curb right there, and it sticks out at you. But you also have to be careful of that yellow curb on the exit. So right away, you're met with yellow curves of death here at Mid-Ohio that can catch you out if you aren't being careful. Turn 2 now, it looks like it's a pretty shallow hairpin, but in reality, it's actually quite a wide apex and quite a late apex because you have to blast yourself onto the back straight here at this undulating, curvy track, making a wide line through to try and get maximum momentum into the next little bit of corners, which is actually kind of an S section almost. This is a much tighter corner than you think because you have to get all the way to the right side of the track to fling yourself to the left to go up and over and down the hill towards what I believe is now turn 5 or 6. And this is also deceptively tight because that tire barrier, I did watch it collect Aiden in practice. There's a blind turn there that you can't see. And up now, I believe this is one of the last real turns of the track. No, I'm lost on the track. That's not one of the last real turns on the track, but it does go up and down a hill just like everywhere else. This blind apex, as is the trend in mid-Ohio, but it's quite an easy on exit as it kind of shallows out. Another very late apex, kind of, you know, if you're into F1, kind of Bahrain T10-ish, and then it's flat out across the line. We're going to see the first lap of qualifying set by Max Ducklow. It is going to be at 1:23.2, and that is the marker that they are all going to have to get. Derek Stack is a 1:23.509, 3/10 back. Keegan Scott is going to be next across the line, and he actually invalidated his lap, so that's not going to matter. Jake Jackson, what a name on that man with a brown helmet. He goes second fastest, just under 2.5 tenths back. There's a 1:23.461. Tommy Lee Cogan goes slowest of all, unfortunately, 4 tenths back of third. He does a 1:23.921. Gary Cowley next up across the line. He's got that almost McLaren-esque looking car, but he did invalidate his lap, unfortunately. Aiden Aquino, the man in second place, is going to be next across the line. He is rocketing up. We're going to hopefully see a provisional P1. He touched the grass a little bit on entry, but he doesn't go. And Ethan Lamb crosses the line at 1:21.934. That is the fastest lap we've seen anybody do today. And so that is the benchmark they're all chasing. 1.3 seconds up on the whole field is Ethan Lamp. Does anybody have an answer for that? Well, we saw Aiden validate. We saw quite a few validators. And the last across the line on a fresh lap is Will Weisbrodel. I should have taught myself how to pronounce that name. He runs on 1:23.164. 1.2 seconds at the front. Wow.
Absolutely impressive. Hey, g'day. I think there's an Alex the Great out there. I think we know Alex the Great. Yeah, we know. I know an Alex the Great.
I know an Alex the Great. I killed him in Minecraft today.
There you go. He's alive, but now.
Sheesh. Right. And so, an interesting first volley of times here in this qualifying session as the championship leader.
Overspeed moment there for Gary. Sorry.
Gary, yeah. We have the championship leader taking a sizable advantage in qualifying, just like his gap in the Drivers' Championship is. And now we already have only 10 minutes left in the session, so qualifying is going to be flying by today. Biggles. I also just realized that Gary, he is in a McLaren. I wasn't out of my mind.
You're right.
I was watching a hockey game, that's what
I have fixed, thank you very much for that, to get the audio levels correctly. Want to make sure that we sound okay for you guys out there. Our voices are a lot better than what we've done before in the car when we casted the events their secret. It's likely it's the first one today. So Electro out there, yep. Oh, just seeing these teammates that they look like at the moment. We are on board with Aiden, and he's getting a nice tow there on his teammate. I'm saying they're teammates because they're the same liveries. And I've turned the audio up a little bit for the cars. So if you need a little bit more pinch on the audio, well, keep it that one.
Did you see how close they got, baby?
Yes, we did.
That was scary.
They're still going at it too, mate. Tooth and nail.
I don't think they're going at it. I think he's just kind of trying to drive. Yeah, he's just trying to drive behind him. So, Aiden maybe a little bit all over the place, but getting slipstream because he knows every single bit of help he can get to try and catch that 95 car. Fast as lightning he is. So we're just, Aiden got very loose, and he sends his teammate off almost with him. I don't know if they're formation driving, but that was scary. Oh my God, they've crashed! The two aero cars have come together. They're both in the wall. They've both lost tires. There are fast repairs, and obviously in qualifying, you can just reset to the garage and get a new car. And I forgot to mention that too. For the race, you only get one fast repair. One in the feature, one in the sprint. It's actually one in the sprint, one in the feature. I got it inverted, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm going on board with Gary in the McLaren livery as he's going past that scene of the accident there between those two gladiators that went tooth and nail. Killing some of that time in their qualifying session because there is What are we looking at? About 10 minutes total, so about 4 minutes left of this qualifying session, so you got to get out there and get some laps in. No more mucking about, boys. It's time to go racing.
I believe Tommy Lee Kogan is on a flying lap right now in the Kraft Dinner car, number 7. He went over that crest of he's on the out lap right now. We'll get on board with the flyer as he's going to be starting soon.
Mountain Dew?
Got Mountain Dew on the car?
I know a lady that her husband anyway created the formula for that product.
Really?
Yeah. But that's a long story. Yep. They sold it.
Did he have a low heart rate and he wanted to try and fix that?
I'll have to ask him about that later on. Actually, no, it was her father. My bad. It wasn't her husband, it was her father.
Oh, sheesh, never mind. I was capping. Tommy Lee Kogan was on a flying lap and he ran at 122.8. So we now have people within 1 second of each lap. And
ooh, that livery.
Somebody can get closer than 9/10 of a second. Somebody can beat that.
Now, to explain out there for noobs like me, these F4 cars, in compared to like Formula 1 and all that jazz, there's no DRS, there's no ERS, any push-to-pass buttons or any of those goodies that they have available for any additional overtaking opportunities, or what?
No DRS, no ERS, no push-to-pass, just a small, naturally aspirated 4-stroke, I believe. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about the specs of it, but I know it's not a hybrid of any sorts, and I'm not sure if it's bigger than a V6 or even a 4-stroke either. But I know it's a feisty little car. It doesn't have a lot of downforce, but it does produce a little bit with that front wing and rear wing. But the main thing is it doesn't produce much power. So this car, considering what it is, actually has a reasonable amount of grip, as I just saw Tommy Lee Kogan spin his way into the pits. But yeah, this car is very fun to drive. You can really wring its neck quite a bit because it's not too powerful, so you don't really have to be too careful with getting on the throttle. That doesn't really apply here at Mid-Ohio because there is so much undulation in the track that it's almost impossible to go full throttle anywhere through a turn. But on a normal, flat track, think your Spas, think your Monzas, think your, Silverstone, whatever. These cars would be, you can really wring the neck of them. Oh, yeah. Although Mid-Ohio is a different beast. It demands respect because if you don't respect it, you're probably going to get sent into a wall, and you can't really afford to do that as it's only a 15-minute race. You'd have to tow, which is going to take a lot of time, and also you only get one fast repair. Yep,
and that's from the man himself, Secret, aka Bum, as of just watching Gary spin around. Now, yeah, you got to remember 2 drivers out there. There's only one medical helicopter, so if that's in use, and then you have to hit the fence, or the fence hits you, you're gonna have to wait for that helicopter to come back so they can come pick you up. So,
did I just get called Bum?
I'm not quite sure about that, so I'm sorry. You might replay of that one. That's because Psychosis is out there calling you that, my friend. Welcome along to Psychosis.
He's molding because I didn't give him diamonds in Minecraft earlier today. Yeah, so we got 4.5 minutes or just over left in this qualifying session. And a little bit different from most sessions, obviously, with iRacing. Once the session ends, it does not wait for you to finish your lap. Once that session ends, you need to finish your lap. So the lads are going to be having to start their final flyers with enough adequate time remaining in the session. So which means, in reality, they only got about 3 minutes before the final flying laps are starting. I think actually we got Will Weisbrodel, who is on a flyer right now, kind of skidding over the crests. Here at Mid-Ohio, we're going to see he's in the last sector of circuit now. So we're going to try and send it through, taking a lot of curb there, almost getting in the grass on the entrance to the turn. And we're going to see through this very tight... Oh, a little bit of...
Yeah.
Oh, I spoke too soon.
We called it. I love the liveries, too, that these Gladiators have. There's so many different liveries. These cars look great. I have all the graphics settings cranked up to the absolute max because I finally got my graphics card that can handle it.
Let's go, big ones.
So,
does that mean you can finally run the F1 game at more than 50 FPS?
Yes, I run it absolutely flat as well, but it doesn't look as good as the iRacing, especially if you can actually get on more cameras and all that jazz, which we will, of course, throughout the season as I get better and better at broadcasting it. Trust me, I'll get you more and more goodies to make it look even better. When there's a will, there's a way.
Biggles, approaching the end of qualifying now. The battle for first, Ethan Lamp's kind of checked out at the front. He's a 6/10 clear of the guy in second. But look at this battle for second for one moment here. 122.520, 122.532, 522, and a 532. Is that just not absurd? Three cars separated by 100th of a second.
100th of a second, to give you an idea. I mean, I know in Formula One, a second is a full football pitch. So 100th of a second is going to be maybe a couple of pieces of paper or something like that on the notes that you got written down.
That's, maybe someone's running a little less front wing than the other, so the angle of it's making it stick out. That might be. Gotta get every single advantage you can get here at iRacing, here at Apollo Racing Club. Round 5 of their F4 Championship here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So we're going to be seeing the final laps of qualifying starting relatively soon. I'm pretty sure anyone who starts a lap now, this is actually going to be their final lap. They won't have enough time to get back around. So Biggles, who's on a flying lap right now? Can you tell?
Jake, I'm still getting used to all this. Somebody's off the track there to get out of his way. Could Jake be the man in P2 currently, the 13 car? Unlucky for some. Maybe, unlucky for Jake.
Jake sending it over that crest there. Jake got almost a vendetta against this course. He's trying to wring the neck out of it. He's not maybe not giving the respect he deserves. He's got that flame car. It says something on the side of his car. Can't quite make it. Oh, he locked up. Going into the penultimate turn though. So is that going to compromise his line coming through the final bend onto what is going to be his final flying lap of the session? He did not improve. He was 4/10 off his personal best there. So I guess we'll stay on board with Jake and see his. Oh, never mind. Jake's done.
Jake's mowing the lawn. He's going to get. Can he stop it? Can he stop it? He did. Yes! He's going to save his team some repairs. Of course, it's done instantly in the qualifying, but heart in throat moment for sure. And they're in the pit lane right now. Will's out on track. Maybe the only one that can do anything with the qualifying session. Should be pretty much done. I thought we had
Will doesn't have enough
15
time
minutes of qualifying. Yeah, we have 2 minutes
Here we
also.
go. Will doesn't have enough time. So this is his final lap. He does a 122.4. So he goes to 8/10 from Ethan Lamp, who did a 121.652. So improved at some point. We didn't even notice it. That's how quick this guy is. Faster than lightning. So Will's in with a 22.4. Jake's in with a 22.5. Aiden's in with a 22.5 as well. Tommy Lee Cogan's out on track right now in the number 7 Craft Dinner Machine. He is absolutely flying through these corners and almost literally flying, taking a lot of speed over the crest of the hill into the final sector of this tight, twisty, narrow, and winding track that I can already tell I would not have a fun time driving. I do not like technical tracks all that much. I like straight line speed. Give me less swing and smile. But Tommy Lee Cogan through the final couple of corners now. He's going to put it pedal to the metal to the line. Where is he going to improve to? He doesn't improve. He goes a 10th off his personal best. 122.829. That's the end of his session. Max Ducklow in the Wisconsin car is going backwards in the grass. His qualifying is done.
I think we have Derek in. Yeah.
He just finished his lap. He's done, and that's qualifying over. That is Ethan Lamp on pole position by a whole second almost over Will Weisbrodel and Jake Jackson. Although that battle for second is quite tasty. We got 2 cars separated by just under 2/10 of a second. Actually, exactly 2/10 of a second. And then we got another couple of cars only a couple tenths back of that. So, Biggles.
Yeah, impressive. I'm just going to get like a nice helicopter camera angle there showing you the track layout.
Yeah.
Mainly, which I'll hopefully have that track map up, of course, during the race so that we can see where the cars are. But that's it for the qualifying. That's that qualifying now affects, remember, both the sprint race coming up and the feature race. Sprint race.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
it affects the sprint race. It affects the sprint race, and then however you finish in the sprint is where you start for the feature. No funny business, no reverse grids, no, top 8, whatever. It's just pure points, race, and move on to the next. So really, this is kind of, it's race 1, but also qualifying 2 in a way, because you are going to want to set yourself up nicely for the longer feature race, which will have more points on offer.
Excellent. So, yep. Get your drinks out there at the moment, or your snacks, your popcorn, whatever you want, because we're going to get ready to go racing. And thank you very much for tuning in, of course, and make sure you check out those sponsors as well, too, if you want to save some money there. Those goodies, of course, and gifts and all that sort of jazz. And join the Discord, of course, if you want to be racing. And you got IndyCar racing and these Formula 4 car racing, and who knows, Polo Racing Club may very well have other different divisions and goodies like that for you in the future.
Yep. And so let's see, we got a couple minutes left to wait now before the lights go out, and we get green flag racing for this race. So Bagels, I'm gonna take your race predictions now. Other than Ethan, because I think that would be the obvious choice, 8/10 on pole. Who do you see winning this race? Who do you like? Bagels?
Sorry, sir. Yep.
Oh wait, all these engines are revving. Are we going green? Oh, the green flag's out, and we're racing. We're actually going off at Mid-Ohio. We had no really indication on the broadcast when it was the game, but it was a good start from Ethan Lamp, who's going down into T1 pretty much on his own. Will Weisbrodel's going side by side with Jake Jackson, and he's also got Aiden Aquino all in the back of him, and they're going to be squabbling for positions all the way down the straight, down in towards T2. We got Ethan checked out at the front. But at the front of this battle for second place, it's Will Weisbrodel, who is holding. Oh, Ethan actually went wide. He loses a bunch of positions. Will Weisbrodel's into the lead of this race at Mid-Ohio. Ethan Lamp all the way down to last place. Aiden Aquino into second place. This is great for him. Jake Jackson is back into third. He's coming under pressure from the Craft Inner car of Tommy Lee Cogan, who's going to be looking around the outside going into this hairpin turn. Is he sending it? No, he thinks better of it. But maybe he's going to try and set him up for a switchback. Nope. He's going to take his lumps. He's going to wait for a better opportunity than this. We had some quite hectic first opening corners here at Mid-Ohio. We still got about another 12 laps to do for this.
Sprint race. Absolutely sprint dash. Straight out of the gate. They're going for it tooth and nail. Fantastic racing so far. Just a couple of people off into the grass. But so, yeah, they're still there. So you got Will leading from Aiden, Jake, and Tommy that we're kind of watching right now. His livery,
yep.
And yeah, there's Max in the back there, ground up, applying a little bit of pressure. That's the 99 car. Got Keegan, man that puts on this league as well too, following just behind there in the 8 car. But there could be an overtake at the moment. Look at this one. It's Max is definitely putting some pressure on.
Yeah, got him pressure on, but it was that Craft Inner car, the number 7, who got the better exit out of that turn. So no real pressure down into turn number 1. I think it's also worth mentioning this while serious weaving happening at the front of the pack. Serious weaving as Will Weisbrodel was trying to break the slipstream from Aiden Aquino. He knows may not be faster than him, but will be way more eager to gain position than him. It's also, I think, worth mentioning the we normally get more cars than this on the grid for a race. We just a little bit of a low turnout for this race tonight. Apparently, we don't know why. Just
look at this.
Up, so.
2 ahead, behind there. We've got 3 abreast behind. Sorry, that's that one.
Oh, it's Tommy Lee Cogan over the outside, that is, of Jake Jackson. And they're going to be still wheel-to-wheel going in to that turn. And it's going to be Tommy Lee who gets the move done. Jake spins. Jake spins in front of everyone. Nearly collects another car. Nearly collects Gary Cowley. And doesn't nearly collect anybody else. But that was quite scary, actually, as there's the Craft Inner car, actually, of Tommy Lee Cogan went off the track momentarily. Ethan Lamp's actually all the way back up to, I believe, 6th place or 8th place already. So picking up positions as we go. Actually, Ethan right now is all over the back of that Wisconsin car of Max Ducklow. So going into T1, going to be having a sniff. Going to be having a look. Is there any overspeed in that number 95? Fast as lightning. Nope, because turn 1 isn't really an overtaking opportunity. But you know what? Don't tell that, because he's just going to try and set it up, going onto the grass for maximum traction, apparently. And the 95 is going to the inside of the 99 into turn 2. Who's braver on the brakes? It's the 95, but he's kind of boxed in. And Max Ducklow does spin. Max Ducklow spins. Everyone avoids him. And that is Ethan Lamp up another spot. Now he's going to be hunting down Tommy Lee Cogan for 3rd place now, I believe. Is that 3rd place already? Yes,
yep.
It is. So, big gains from the 95 to the inside for the first of these 2 turns. Easy move for the number 95, but the Craft Inner car gets the switchback, gets another switchback, hits the back of the 95 almost, because the 95 was going a bit slower than maybe he anticipated, and that is Ethan Lamp into 3rd place. Now, he's only got about another 9 minutes, my bad, to hunt down the top 2 of Will Weisbrodel and Aiden Aquino. They are up the road by about 3 seconds. He lost a bit of time. However, we know second fastest quality, he can almost definitely make that time up. Let's see. Will we have any funny business, Big Holes? Will these 2 at the front work together because they know how fast the guy in 3rd is? Or is there just nothing they can do? Is he just going to plow by?
I mean, it's a sprint race, so I think they're going to be going for it, of course. You can see Aiden's just slowly. He's got the fastest lap in that last lap. I'm just going to try to work out to get the track map up for you guys out there. But he's just slowly reeling him in, applying that pressure. That's Will leading the race, the 60 car. But look at that. the speed difference going into the corners here, which is really bumpy, and stay off those chicanes. That's the trouble spot area. We'll go on board right now with Aiden and see how it feels to be dirty air. Obviously, something that applies to you.
Really, in these cars, they don't have a lot of downforce, but yeah, there is just a wee bit of dirty air, although, tell you what, the bigger problem than dirty air is not being able to see where the corner is until you're already on top of it. That was a lot of curve taken there by maybe looking at it? No, okay, so it looks like, oversteer. Yeah, this is, so, I said this a little while ago, some tracks are more of a kind of track, where you're really confident. Mid-Ohio is one of those tracks where you're like, but it still kind of works in the end, and it's still really, really, not forgiving, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very, very fun, Nicholas. We're here to have fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does it go again? A bit of what is the track? A bit of
so think of your spas, right? Spa are kind of a,
okay.
Right? That's what spa is, right? Mid-Ohio, with all this undulation and stuff, is kind of a, it's more like that, Does that explain it? Does that explain it well?
It does. So a few more little grunts and highs and things like that.
Yeah.
As they're going for it. The 10 car and the 60 car still a little lead of the race there. Will. Still going to work on that track map for you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in for the first sprint race here. First time to be broadcasted at the Apollo Racing Club, the F4 Championship that we are currently in round 5. Halfway through practically the season, my friend, I believe. We have 10 or 11 or 12 more to go. 6 or so more to go.
There are 7 rounds to go, after this one. So, plenty of racing left to be had here. Now, Biggles, you want to hear an extra reason why Will Weiss...
they're going for it. They're going! Wow, massive accident!
Oh, just as I was saying, Will Weisbrodel gets taken out by Aiden Aquino, which unleashes Ethan Lamp into the lead. Will Weisbrodel is not out of the race. He doesn't look like he has too much damage, but that is seriously painful for him. I was just about to say he hasn't won a race yet this season, and he's so at the front. He must have been enjoying that, and that is... We got a replay on that. That was just sad.
Yeah, try that one for sure. Exactly. So that was Will. Let's see if we can come back on that one. It just says he went off track, but let's have a look at the replay here now. There it is. Bang. That's definitely off track, but that's a contact. So I don't know. That's one for the stewards, whether who gets that one right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
You know, there are stewards in this league, so they will be taking quite an eye onto that one. And not an inner teammate rivalry, thank God, but still, it's such a shame when the guy faster, the guy behind is faster. You're trying to push and stay ahead, but you also want to tell the guy, that guy ahead, get a move on, come on, you got a race to win. And that happens sometimes. It is quite a shame. Will was running so well. Now he's in a very compromised position for the start of the feature race as well.
They do have a fast repair out there, guys, if they're going to jump back in the pit lane. But so far, I didn't see anybody actually have boxed yet.
He's not using a fast repair, actually. No. He's only down to 5th place now, but he's under pretty substantial pressure from the number, what is that, the number 6 car,
Derek at the moment.
Number 610 car.
Derek at the moment. Right there. Yeah, Derek's putting a lot of pressure. You can see the rear end sliding out at the moment of Will's car, so perhaps, look at that, perhaps he's almost drifting. Must be some damage there for sure, right?
Obviously the problem too, Will's car, right? His tires are going to be kind of cooked from that spin. So obviously you spin the tires, you'll lock them up, so that definitely, I said these tires, they have a very specific operating window. These tires don't really, they don't really like being overworked to that extent, I guess we could say. So Will is kind of going to be on the back foot for the rest of this race, but I do believe he could hang on to this P5 that he is currently in. But meanwhile, at the front, Ethan Lamp has extended his gap 3.8 seconds over Aiden Aquino. That is the gap at the front of the pack. And behind Aiden, it is another 1.1 back to Mr. Tommy Lee Cogan in that Kraft Dinner number 7. Biggles, do you think he can catch him, or do you think Aiden's going to try and check out for 2nd place?
Good question. That's a good question. I'll have to see those lap times. 124.2, 122.1. That's Ethan, still a little bit quicker. Time's not going to be exactly on your side because we're 9 minutes into the 15-minute sprint feature. So we've got only a handful of laps to go left as Alex has clipped something out there. 11 minutes. Yeah, I can't do the math, mate. That's why I have Google and calculators for.
We got just around 4 minutes to go. Well, actually, we have 3.5 minutes to go in this race. But with... It kind of works the same as an endurance race. Timer runs out, you cross the line, you do one more lap, and that's it. Or not necessarily. Timer runs out, and then you're done on that lap. That's what it is. It's too late for me thinking. My bad, boys. My bad. But yeah, so the sprint race here has kind of cooled down a little bit.
Oh, don't tell the 22 car there. Sorry, the 99 car of Max, because he's just on the gearbox there of Jake Jackson. That's currently running P7 and P8 battle that you're seeing.
That's true. A couple of guys who've had spins this race is going to be eager to make up whatever positions they can. Although for Jake Jackson, that might actually be more of an opportunity to keep a guy behind. You know, P7, but every position is more points. Every position's a higher place on the grid for the feature race, which is worth more points. But it looks like the 99 car of Max Ducklow is looking towards the outside of the track, going very deep. But he's going to get the Pog exit going down the backstretch. And now there's going to be all sorts of slipstream going on. I think I can sniff an overtake coming, Biggles, if just get a little bit closer. Just get a little bit closer in that slipstream. It might have to be a bit of a send. Here comes Max Ducklow. What's he gonna do? Oh, he actually does have a lot of slipstream, but unfortunately the corner comes too quickly, and he's gonna have to settle back for a better opportunity, get some better Pog exits compared to the number 13, who maybe will have to have some bad luck. Unlucky 13 on an exit. Who knows? One thing I've noticed actually is the 99 is taking way more curb than the number 13, so that's what's allowing it to get these good exits. Will that be hurting the tires, though? Tires, are they sensitive to heat? Are they sensitive to the curbs? We don't know. All we know is that there is approximately 2 laps left in this race, and the number 99 is all over the rear of the number 13. It's Wisconsin versus something that looks like a metal band, and it's a lockup for the number 13 of Jake Jackson. And the 99 Max Ducklow was looking at it, but I think he backed out, thought better of it. Although he is still in the slipstream, and he's just, you know, he's all over the back of the 13. Maybe he's going to try and set him up going down the backstretch. He got a bit of a bad run through T1, so he's going to have to try and send it deep into T2, get a good exit. He's not going to have many chances left to make this overtake.
Yeah, Alex is asking out there, who is car number 27?
Car number 27? Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
That's a good question, you know.
We had a crash actually before from Garrett, so let's have a look at this real quick there and see what happens. That's the McLaren livery car of the 22 car. What he must have just. I'm just having. We are looking at the replay. Can't see if there's a crash unless he loses it here. The rear end go around. No. We're being tricked by race control. So we'll go back to the live entertainment. Oh, there it is. Oh, you had a spin. He had a spin. There it is.
All right, but Biggles.
Yes, sir.
There is 30 seconds left in the session, and Ethan Lamp is crossing the line now, which means we are on the final lap of the sprint race here at Mid-Ohio. Ethan Lamp is many seconds ahead, but there's actually a battle for second going on right now between Aiden Aquino and the number 7 of Tommy Lee Kogan. This is going to be very important. It's the last lap of the race. So that number 7 is going to be all over the back of the number 10 if he can just get a run using all the slipstream that he can. Again, going to have to go deep into this turn, get the Pog exit, and hopefully do it. But the number 10's had the exact same idea, and the number 10's going for the good exit. And I think that's pretty much the last chance that 7's going to have. That number 10 is checked out way too far to get the slipstream. And that should be Aiden Aquino, without any mistakes, firmly in second place. Although, unfortunately, going to be about 8.5 seconds behind Ethan Lamp come the end of the race. Meanwhile, Jake Jackson and Max Ducklow, their battle is still ongoing. And that Wisconsin car, he's a proud Badger, and actually it looks like he's a lot closer than the last time. Looks like he's a lot closer. It looks like he's within range to make a move. Is he going to look to the inside? No, he's going to stay behind. He's going to think better of it. He's like, I'm starting P5 for the sprint, for the feature race already. I can make up the position on him there. It'll be worth more points then than it is now.
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead, Seth.
It looks like this battle might be kind of over, so we're going to put our attention now to Ethan Lamp coming through the last couple of corners, nearly spinning at the penultimate turn. But through the last turn, take it easy. Ethan Lamp, the 95, blitzes the sprint race, sprints to the finish, and wins at Mid-Ohio for the first one. Aiden Aquino will take second place, and Tommy Lee Kogan will complete the podium positions. 7.8 seconds separates Ethan Lamp from Aiden Aquino. Derek Stack will take fourth place, and it's going to be Jake Jackson, who does in fact lead home Max Ducklow to defeat him for P5, only a little over 0.4 of a second between them. Will Weisborough came home in 7th after he ran up front for so much of this race. And it's going to be Keegan Scott coming home in 8th, and winning the McLaren car. car of Gary Cowley. Had a bit of a spinner at one point during the race, which sent him all the way back to the back of the field. And now he's just got to trundle around. We're all waiting for him, but he does finish the race, so he will score a little bit of points. You know, 9th place. It's a something, you know, a little something, Bills.
A little something. Yeah.
A little 15-pointer. You know, it's good. 15 points. It's all right.
Let's say, so that'll be your results there. I'm showing at the best time too that the gladiators will get, so we get an idea of that best time to get that additional point as you for the fastest lap, right? As well. Checkered flag. So that's it. That sprint race is over. They're going to be getting just a couple of minutes of practice, but what we're going to do at the moment, of course, is we'll go through those final results once it's all confirmed. Is have a little bit of a pauser so that we can hydrate ourselves and
a little bit of a breather, you know, and
yeah.
my throat's already starting to get a little bit sore. This isn't good at all. Not poggers.
So that's all confirmed. There it is. It's all coming in right now as those results are up there. I don't think we even have anything that actually shows.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean, this shows right there up on the left-hand side. So that is what it is.
True. Yeah. So that is the end of the race. So final race results now. We're just going to run through it, Biggles. Is that all right with you?
Please do, my friend.
Right, so it's Ethan Lamp who wins the sprint race, as we know, by 8.5 seconds over Aiden Aquino, who led home Tommy Lee Cogan by just a wee bit more. 10.2 seconds was the gap between the podium sitters. Derek Stack came home in 4th, made a stack of points, and it's Jake Jackson who won that battle for the top 5. Max Ducklow followed very close behind him in P6, only finishing about 0.3 of a second behind him, so he'll be looking to be all over him again in the feature race. And we got Keegan Scott, came home 4 seconds back in, no, my bad, it was Will Weisbrodel who came back 4 seconds back in 7th place. Keegan Scott came home very far back in 8th place, 43 seconds back, and nearly a lap down. Gary Cowley, 1:20.793, that's how far back he was, nearly an entire lap. And now we got a little 5-minute warm-up before we get on to the feature race.
Absolutely. So, yeah, don't go anywhere. Just a couple of minutes. Have a bit of a breather. Get up there. Have a stretch. We'll be back, in just a minute.
And we are back. We are ready for the feature race here at Apollo Race Club here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Round 5 of 12 of their F4 Car Championship. Ethan Lamp is on pole position for the feature race after being the fastest in qualifying and winning the sprint race. I do believe we have Aiden Aquino starting second place. Wow. Okay, we're good. Nah. We good? I can't. Got a little thing going right now. Yeah,
Not a problem.
Ethan's first, Aiden's second, Tommy Lee Cogan is in third. That's all we need to know, because this stuff is going to get absolutely wicked when it gets going, Biggles. Now, any predictions for the future? Because we saw Ethan go off at the first term, and I do believe if Aiden and Will didn't come together, they may have had a chance. But we're actually, never mind, we're going green already. Again, the engines are revving, the green flag is out, and they're off again. It's a fantastic start for the 610 car of Derek Stack, and it looks like he's getting boxed in, though, by the KD car of Tommy Lee Cogan as well as Aiden Aquino. It looks like Ethan Lamb got wonderful traction and is running away with it once again, and not as much squabbling around as there was last time around. But these cars are going to be kind of neat into turn 2, as we see Tommy Lee and Derek Stack going side by side through turn 2, and it looks like Derek got the run on the exit, but it's going to be Tommy Lee who's going to have the momentum going down the straight into turn 3. Next braking zone, not getting any bump drafts from the guys behind, so don't even think about it, boys. They're going to have to outdrag, and it looks like Tommy Lee does complete the move, but into braking. The 610 doesn't decide, thinks better of it. Oh, but he's going to get a better exit than the 7 of Tommy Lee. Derek Stack all over the back of the number 7, but he's going to put himself under pressure from the number 13 of Jake Jackson. But Jake is actually also under pressure from Will Weisbrod, who's been flying, trying to make up positions here after a very, very unfortunate sprint race. But Jake's not done with him yet. Jake is looking at his inside for this next very high turn. He's going to cut off his front wing almost. Does Will, that pink car. Not afraid of anything. Pink is a very strong color, clearly. Does get, oh my God! Nearly locking up into the back of Will was Jake Jackson.
There it is.
Oh, the 50, oh, and the 60. Nearly took another 3 wide. The Wisconsin car gets together with a 13. That's Jake Jackson, as well as Max Ducklow. Very big problems. Wing damage for Max Ducklow. He says sorry in the game chat. You can't really see it. Jake Jackson looks kind of undamaged.
What just happened? We're going to go back to a replay of that in a second when we get a chance, of course, because there's so much action still going on. Derek's under a bit of pressure right now. Well, Tommy's under a bit of pressure there from Derek, because we're going to go on board with Tommy. With Derek, a 610 car up into 4th gear. So still Ethan's leading from Aiden. So their teammates are taking care of each other at the moment. But that's Tommy a little bit down the road there. 36 or so. 3 tenths. 3 tenths, there it is.
3 tenths, 36 seconds already.
36 seconds. Hey, I'm getting used to iRacing. It's fun.
I know you are, and I know you are. Just don't worry. There's no Williams cars in iRacing, so you don't run the risk of messing up engine manufacturers. Yeah. Or Hasses. I wish there was Hasses in this game. That'd make it so much better.
Or drivers that spin across the line before they finish the race and crash out and don't get the race results. Yeah.
Never mind. That has happened to me, and I did get the race results because iRacing isn't broken like the F1 game. Smile. Yeah. I think I won a race doing that one time.
Well, you know, hang on, but that's the difference of it to say that, because this is not a game, my friend. This is a simulation.
It's a simulator. True. It has many haters, but so does everything. So really, this is as good as we got.
We got the replay then. You want to check that replay that happened there before for that kerfuffling? Let's go look.
Yeah, lots of kerfuffling.
What happened here, as you can see. Let's go to the blimp car, and that was the tanglement. Was that? I thought there was 3 cars involved in this one. There it is. Cuts him off. As you said, almost loses a front wing. There it is. And then they all had to back up around the outside there on the I-95 as it gets all banked up there. Heavy traffic jam, and that was the collision.
Yeah, I think the crash on lap 2 though, or lap 1, the end of lap 1, that was really caused by what was it, Will Weisbrod? I believe he got a little bit loose going through the penultimate turn, made everyone check up, and that's what ultimately sent the Wisconsin car of Max Ducklow into the side of Jake Jackson, and so that's unfortunately their race is kind of ruined, but there's still 20 minutes left. Anything's possible, although the field is kind of spread out, really. Not too many battles happening right now.
Yeah, once again in the chat, they apologize for the graphic because I'm only new to this. It's not lap 3 of 250, my apologies. It's a 25 minutes, so we'll keep you guys updated about how much time is left. We're 4 minutes into that at the moment, so We have about 21 minutes, if my math is correctly, of racing to go. And mandatory pit stops or not, I didn't quite confirm that one.
We didn't ask about that.
Yeah, we did not, actually.
We should have asked about that. Our briefing was very, very fast. And, well, I wouldn't say rushed, but it was done within the time frame. We did this all in a half-hour smile. Anyway, Derek Stack is all over the back of the number 7 car of Tommy Lee Cogan and looking for a move into turn 2, or is he going to wait for the second straight, that back stretch through turn 2? Going to get a good run. It's an okay run, but it's going to have even more okay slipstream. Can the number 610 get anywhere near that KD car? I don't think so. You can see in the foreground as well. You just see the top 2 have absolutely run away with it, just like in the championship. But yeah, it's going to be Tommy Lee Cogan still ahead of the number 610 of Derek Stack. And they're also inviting Will Weisbrodel back into this battle, looking for what I believe is going to be his first podium of the season. Allow me to check that. Will Weisbrodel, does he have any podiums yet this season?
You went to the briefing? You got your notes? Okay.
He does not.
Oh,
Will
okay.
Weisbrodel does not have any podiums yet this season. So,
well, Will, it's your time to shine, my friend, if you
Yep.
want it today. It looks like Jake Jackson's crashed against somewhere. Let's have a look.
Has he?
Yeah, that's what I'm showing on the race control message. But I want to keep it. We'll go back to that one because whenever you change something, you miss what's going to happen overtake to see whether or not Derek can do something about Tommy that's up the road there.
Doesn't look like Jake crashed.
No.
Maybe he just had an off track, but he definitely didn't crash. Not really seeing anything that would indicate.
Probably an off track, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but enough of him though. We got a serious battle for third going on right now, Bagels. 3 cars in the battle for that third spot on the podium. Number 3s all around. And oh, almost 3 wide going into turn 2. Is there going to be 3 wide going into... Oh, the number 60 car. That is Will Weisbrodel looking around the outside of the 610 of Derek Stack. But it's going to be a pog exit for the number 60 of Will Weisbrodel. He's got much more slipstream to the inside already going down the backstretch. And he's actually going to pick up slipstream from the number 7 of Tommy Lee Cogan as well. My voice is seriously going, but I don't care because it's fun to commentate. Hard on the brakes goes number 60, Will Weisbrodel. If they can keep it clean, they do. That is Will Weisbrodel up into 4th place, and he's now free to unleash himself upon Tommy Lee Cogan, who is going to be trying everything to hold him back again. But hopefully this time, there's no repeat performance of that spin from Will Weisbrodel, who's already all over the back. He is much faster than the car ahead, and he's getting almost onto the grass to get the pog exit. 3 cars separated by less than 0.3 of a second. This is F4 racing at its finest. This is what you watch the Junior Series for. Don't need any of the F1 stuff. Don't need the Dallara IR1 or whatever it's called. You got F4 cars right here. They're both going for the big exit. But Tommy Lee goes very, very wide. The 60's going to have to try and make a cutback move. But that invites the 610 back into it. I'm dying over here, Bagels.
Do you want me to take over? I'll take over for you at the moment.
It's a third one.
Yeah.
It's the number 6 Weisbrodel. He get a bit on the curb, though, and they're still going to be side by side, going back, down, and up the hill into turn 2, and it looks like he got the overspeed on him. The 7 of Tommy Lee into turn 2. He got the braking on him, and he's fighting the number 610 of Derek Stack to get passed by the 60 again. Which one of them is going to get the slipstream from the number 7? That is going to be what decides who gets this position down into turn 3. It's looking like the pink car has got the overspeed, but the 610 has got the slipstream. Now it slips to the 60. They're going to get hard on the brakes going into turn 3. Braking now, and the 610 swings it around the outside and reaffirms that 4th place, once again unleashing himself upon the number 7. Biggles, please, my throat's gonna fall out.
I was going to say, well, Crofty, you've got nothing on this man when he's casting. He can cast until his voice basically breaks, but absolutely fantastic racing. You can see right now, this is a battle, remember, for a podium position. So Tommy leading just from Will and Derek just in the background there. Pressure's going to be exchanging places left, right, center. Nothing that Ethan and Aiden need to worry about. As you can see on the track map, 1 and 2 about to start the next lap of this race, but here we go. They're at it again. He's up into the grass.
Mistake.
Who that? Was that
Under
Tommy?
pressure was Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Will Weisbrodel, the Pink Panther. He was too intimidating for the Kraft Inter car, and into 3rd place he goes. Can he hold off Derek Stack now for the rest of the race? They're both 7 seconds behind Aiden Aquino, who is in 2nd. So this battle is well and truly for 3rd place. But Will Weisbrodel finally in a podium position, although he does have to survive another 15 minutes of sustained pressure. He has a whole sprint race left. Can he do it?
This is why you want to earn your big bucks, man, because there's money up for grabs, of course. So you got to, you go for it. You go hard and fast. This is what driving is all about. If gap car, as they say. Yep. And that's good. And I also want to keep us entertained out there, too. And I hope you guys are entertained. For yeah, and this is the first time we've streamed the F4 this season. Can you imagine what's going to happen for the rest of the season? Wow.
It may not be a close championship battle, but we'll just like real life F1 most of the time. Oh, that got very loose on the Pink Panther there. Will Riserodel got very loose, but I was just to say, I guess it's going to be the midfield where the majority of the entertainment is this season. I guess unless maybe Ethan makes a few mistakes here and there, but I'm just saying this. I'm not roasting anyone, but Ethan has just been absolutely dominant. He is gapping the entire field almost with his eyes shut. Look at this stuff. Let's see. Let's just look here. Ethan's about to cross the line. He just said a 122.0 in race trim. Aiden's gonna cross the line, do a 22.3. So only 3/10 off. Difference is Ethan Lamp just did a lap that is faster than Aiden's qualifying time.
But you know what? We just went on board with him. So you know what we do best? Secret?
What do we do best?
We commentate curse him. I've done that before. I have multiple times. Derek Sack's actually got on the pit lane right now. So do you have a lot of damage?
Do you have a lot of damage? Yes, he does. He actually doesn't have a front wing.
Wow.
Derek Sack does not have a front wing. What happened to Derek Sack? I'm going to rewind my iRacing a little bit. Oh, he doesn't have a wheel on his car. He went off the track.
Let's check the replay. Let's have a look at the replay of that one. We'll go back to that and see what happened. Here he is. He does have a wheel here. Where does he lose it?
It was what I said, Biggles. Remember what I said earlier? Those yellow curbs. They stop you from going on the grass, but they might also kind of throw you off. That's exactly what happened there. He lost the car getting off the yellow curbs, couldn't stabilize the car before the corner, and that's put him into a wall. So he utilizes his fast repair for the future race, but now he's all the way back down in 7th, and he's got 6 seconds back to Jake Jackson.
I think he's further than 7th for 7 is Jake Jackson. It's 7 for Jake Jackson, just up the road to 6th position, which is Gary. Now, Keegan, the man that puts on, this fantastic league and stuff like that, our boss, so you have to be nice to him. True. He's currently running a lonely race there at P5. He's not too much up the road there, but he's just getting there. Consistency is key, as you all know, for championships.
I mean, Biggles, not roasting or anything, right? But he seemed like quite a stern man when he was giving us our briefing earlier, so I guess he must be liking running alone. Easy top 5. It's not money, but it's something.
Yep. Absolutely, but I don't know. He's the boss, so does the boss have to pay out the boss?
He could just keep money. This is my money. I'm keeping this. Smile.
It's got to go on board for him for a little bit. Can we want to roast him a little? We'll go on board. There's a little bit of the in-car cam. There we go.
Actually, no, we probably shouldn't do that because the closest battle we got on track right now is actually between Gary Colley and Jake Jackson. So 6th, 7th, right behind Keegan. They running faster lap times than him? Not really. They're actually both looking kind of slower than him. But Jake Jackson pulled up on Gary Colley 0.6 of a second on that last lap. So that flaming car looks like it's absolutely saying set on fire by its driver, and it's trying to hunt down that McLaren, who, by the way, finally got its stuff together this weekend in F1. About time. Give Lando a good car, please.
Wait, I haven't seen it yet. No, I'm only kidding. If you haven't seen it yet, you haven't been on social media or Discord or anything, because it's a spoiler alert. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and the Merc too, remember?
True.
So didn't think that was possible.
Everyone's saying, it's a car problem that Lewis would finish 14th, even though George is in 5th. Seems kind of cringe to me. Maybe Lewis just had a bad week.
Yeah, well, they're gonna. Mercedes is a powerhouse. So that's what we're 3 races into a 22 season. So there's still a lot of work to go. 23, yeah. 23 races. Yeah, so 20 to go.
Yeah.
And we're on board with the Ferrari. No, it's not, but we are on board with the Jake Jackson that's in the red car. So, hey, a red car in 2022 in Formula 1 is not too bad.
Yeah. It's been looking for, if you got a red on your car or in the name, pretty good. Ferrari, Red Bull, Jake Jackson. Max Ducklow actually just disconnected from the race.
Oh, yeah. Might be some sort of...
it looks like his engine went out. And by engine, I mean his internet.
Ah,
so
I was going to say, it's not F1, it's not the word, the D word.
What's that?
What? I have a beeper.
Since when do you have that?
You haven't casted with me in a while, my friend, have you? But here we go. He's getting closer right now to... I'd have to say I was going to call it the McLaren, but it's not. But we're on board
still. Were there that many people swearing in post-race interviews that they had to get that just in case?
Yeah, who's just like, oh my god. Trust me, I have a soundboard. Don't get me hyped up.
No, have you ever seen that that clip where it's like Top Gear Live or whatever? It's like James May, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond. It was after they got fired from Top Gear, so they couldn't say it, but James May said it. They tried censoring it. It's like, you can't censor a live show. You can't send.
Yeah, you can. I'm doing it right.
It's because you're the one talking. Anyway, we got 10 minutes left to go in the feature race of this Formula 4 race for Apollo Racing Club, and Jake Jackson is all over the back of that McLaren schemed car of Gary Cowley. This is a battle for 6th place on the track, and it's a battle for pride, really. You know, there aren't that many people in this race. There was only 9, really. 12 people in the session, but 3 of them didn't race, one of them being me. But let's see how this goes now. Looks like the McLaren car got a very good exit out of turn 2, so it doesn't look like there will be any trouble quite yet. Going down into turn 3, no real battles happening anywhere else either. So I take this momentary lapse in the action to ask my good commentary buddy Biggles a question. Biggles, how would you rate this Formula 4 race so far?
Exciting. Absolutely. 10 times more exciting than a real F1 race, that's for sure. This is why I love esports, mate, because you know, online it's what it's all about. Like everybody just goes, but you know, because if you crash, you're not going to be in hospital.
I ran a race last night where I whacked into a wall so hard that my wing fell off, and I still managed to finish 3rd.
Oh, we got a little twirly out of that 22 car.
Yeah.
At that, we got yeah. By the way, Matt Moosey. He said his name is Matt, and he announces the Saturday night ACC GT3 series. Oh, welcome along, Matt. Thank you. Yeah.
Good to meet you, Matt. Always good to meet the fellow commentators. Obviously, I'm just some random scrub that Biggles called in to help call this race today.
Bum.
But we
It's
still
a
have
bum.
a fun time regardless.
You are a random bum, according to Psychosis, but earlier.
Come
so there it is.
on, dude, roasting and for what?
It's what we do. So yeah, it's not lap 12. Well, it is lap 12 of 2. It's not of 250, but what we're looking at time-wise, we're 15, almost 16 minutes into this race out of 25.
Minutes. 17 minutes into this.
I'm delayed in Panama, mate. I'm delayed in Panama.
Sure, well, I'm letting you know about now, Biggles. Then we got about 6 laps left. 6, 7 laps left to go. Actually, no, never mind. Not even that. Like, yeah, 6 to go. Yeah, about 6 laps to go in this race. We got Ethan Lamp in the lead of the race by 7.5 seconds over Aiden Aquino. And then it's Will Weisbrodel who is gapping Tommy Lee Cogan.
Oh, he's gone off.
Who?
He's gone off that battle we're watching at the moment there between...
Oh, Gary Cawley went off. No, dude.
That's
going to be Keegan. Keegan's still 5th. Look at that.
Yeah, where's Keegan? Yeah, there he is.
Jake Jackson then easily gets to take 6th place.
Have a look at that in the replay then if you missed that one where Gary went off. Let's have a look. Let's go back. Right here. Like a power slide came out of the corner. I think it is here. Yeah, too much on the gas pedal, too much on the loud pedal, and turns that Formula 4 car into a lawnmower. But still great to keep it out of the fence and lives to see another day.
I mean, that's what I was saying with these F4 cars, right? It's that they don't have that much power. I think actually Gary had another off while we were just talking about him going off. Yeah, he did. He full on spun going into the last turn. Yeah, he overcooked it. So his tires are not in any kind of good shape right now. They'll have to take it very lightly. But that's what I was saying again about these F4 cars right at the top of the broadcast. They have a moderate amount of downforce. They have not a lot of power though, which means you can be very, very liberal on the throttle. But as is the nature of Mid-Ohio with all these undulating corners, you can't really get too picky with it, you know, too greedy, because this track will bite back. That's the glory of these kind of club circuits, I guess you could say. They got character to them, you know, serious character that we don't really get with too many new circuits today, unfortunately. Unless it's the Jeddah Corniche circuit, which makes people are just crashing all of the time.
It could be the Las Vegas circuit. We'll be having that one. Booking hotel rooms and tickets already. They're not available, of course. They don't sell out in a millisecond like they do in Miami. They probably will.
True.
So where we are, another lap started, and Ethan's still leading from Aiden, the teammates there. I believe Will, Tommy, Keegan are on board with right now. We're just watching, of course, from the scenic, sitting up in the grandstands or sitting out in outside the fence.
Watching as a spectator would, Biggles. You know, sometimes the best seats in the house, like you ever see it at the Austrian Grand Prix?
Oh,
when you have those, like, obviously there's always everyone in the crowd or whatever, but then you have those guys just chilling on top of the hill watching the race for free with binoculars. Yeah,
that's true. They do. I would actually like to go to the Hungary race when it's wet and go the sliding down in the mud down the hill.
That would be very fun. Kind of like Valtteri Bottas. That's what he was doing into turn 1.
Oh, okay.
I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah.
How many cars did he take out? 5?
That's true. That's true.
2 of them being Red Bulls, convenient. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Yeah, so just under
drone.
5 minutes to go now in this Mid-Ohio race, the feature race for Apollo Racing Club. It's been quite a not a boring one, but quite a tame one compared to the sprint race where we had absolutely everything kicking off. We have Ethan Lamp in the lead by around 10 seconds
Yeah,
now.
speaking of which, we're going to go on board in a cockpit view of him and tell me how it feels right now with the tyres obviously deeper into this race. He's looking comfortable. His last lap, I think, was the quickest. Yep, so he's setting purples. How's it feel on board right now, driving in race condition?
Yeah, so basically what he's going to be looking to do now really is the tires are in that weird window in iRacing now where it's like they're kind of worn, but the car is getting really light, so you're still finding lap time, but it's really just because the car is light, so you don't have more mechanical grip. But you do, right? So you don't have mechanical grip, but you do still have that downforce and you have that turn-in because the car is lighter. So that's when you rely on the downforce more, and that's what you see is he's absolutely wringing the neck of these cars taking so much curve, getting absolutely zero oversteer. That's how good this guy is, right? And so, yeah, just look at this. Just absolutely using, that's what I was saying. Use the downforce because you don't really have that much grip left in the tires, but you can still fling the car in. And yeah, this is why he's leading the championship after this race by, I think it's going to be about 70 points, just like I said at the top of the broadcast.
And a little bit of cash in his back pocket as well, too, for winning the race. And how much cash is he going to get?
For winning the race, he's going to win a whole 25 American dollars, Biggles. Or maybe it's iRacing credits. I don't know. I wasn't told that much.
Yeah, but still win something. That's the key, isn't it? Something in your back pocket.
Yeah. No, it's great watching this guy on board, though. There's just so much grip for these F4 cars. You know, he's obviously must have a pretty good setup on. Obviously, it's an open setup. The league does have setup. I'm pretty sure you can change it, right? I'm not wrong.
Not now, but yeah, I'm sure you could.
Well, not now,
yeah.
yes, but modified. So
I can't believe nobody's taken out those witches hats there.
That's true.
Yeah, I would have destroyed them in about 30 seconds, but that's me.
Well, you know why in Biggles? You know why? It's because in iRacing, if those get caught under your car, you're done for. They're going to make you spin.
Oh, wow. And speaking of iRacing, mate, I mean, hopefully, you know, the rumors are that we're going to have weather coming in the future, which is going to really spice things up, isn't it?
I'm not looking forward to that, because if I'm doing a NASCAR race, I don't want it to get rained out.
Oh, I do. I like to spice things up. You guys at the audience out there, of course, would love that too.
Yep.
Especially right now, like the F1, I think it was Bernie, wasn't it, that had wanted to do, you
sprinklers?
know, yeah, sprinklers, exactly. There'll be a pop-up sprinklers right now, or somebody get out there with a fire hose and just spray down a couple of those corners. Let's spice this race up, because it's starting to gap out a little bit.
The last sector where it's like a lot of mechanical grip, just douse it with water, see what happens, see who can brave the elements, although I don't think any amount of braving the elements will help, as Ethan Lamp is now almost 11 seconds ahead of Aiden Aquino, who is a further 8 seconds ahead of Will Weisbrodel, who is once again looking for his first podium in APR in F4 cars. I'm saying it like this because I don't want to jinx him again.
You can jinx him if you want. You're allowed to. We have that privilege up here. We have.
But I did that in the sprint race, though, and I don't want to again.
So could this be the last lap, or primarily the penultimate lap now, because the time?
We got 2 laps to go, Nicholas.
This
is the second to last lap of this Grand Prix, and it's done what? It's been a lot more tame, but I tell you what, it's done wonders for my voice. Absolute wonders for my voice.
I'll tell you what, we do have a bit of an action happening at the moment too, actually back there, because Derek is caught the back there of Gary. And that's a battle for P7 and P8 currently at the moment as they're about to start this lap.
They have final lap of the race. They're starting their second to last lap of the race now. Derek Stack on the back of the number 22 car of Gary Cowley. Well, got all over the little grass there a little bit, but that shouldn't hinder his run too much. This is really going to be the last chance until the last lap, I think, for the 610 to get a run on the 22. They're both getting a good exit. So let's see, is that slipstream going to be enough? Doesn't look like he's going to be quite close enough, unfortunately, but we're going to keep attention to them as they rocket down the street. Actually, Ethan Lamp just went off the track. I swapped to we went off the track. He saved it. But, yeah, it looks like he was pushing the limit even more. That's the first mistake I've seen from him today.
Let's have a look at the replay on that one real quick there. See it. That's our race leader, remember. There it is. He kept it. Wow, that's going to hurt your back. Look at the power oversteer. He manages to avoid the winches hat, so it comes back out. He had a gap. So that's live to see another moment there. But, yeah, he is a human being. He's not a machine after all. He does make mistakes.
Yep. So Actually, never mind. This is I believe this is the end of the race now. Actually, we are on the final lap for Ethan Lamp now, and he's coming through the last couple. Yeah, I think he's into the last sector now, and he doesn't need to worry about anything. He's got probably about 11 seconds back to the guy in for a second. He could just cruise home to his second win of the weekend. Got a Grand Slam. Win both races. Pole position. Fastest lap in each of them. How would you describe this weekend from Ethan?
Trifecta.
Trifecta?
Yeah, quadfecta. Is it a quad? There, you got 4. Not 3. Here we go.
Oh,
Final corner. Here he is.
Yep.
Gonna win the race. He's gonna win this race in absolute domination. Is that the checkered flag out there? I'm not quite sure. We might have even went for another lap, mate. Might be jumping the gun.
Really?
No, I didn't get a message from race control saying it is.
But it's 25 minutes. Okay, I guess it's full races +1 then. So my bad. That's not how it was in the sprint though. So come on, dude.
You had one job. Here we go. Derek is still putting pressure on that. Yeah. Hey. You know, you flew in last minute down here to the States from Canada. That was the flight too. Did you have the chicken or the beef? But look at this battle at the moment. That's Gary and Derek. They're still tooth and nail. This could very much be the last lap.
Yeah, we actually don't know, so we're gonna have to keep sure. Whenever all the cars just despawn from the track, we're gonna see. But the 610 is all over the back of the number 22. Is he gonna look? He's gonna look to the inside, but the 22 holds it clean and gets looks like a slightly better run. But the 610 is gonna send it to the inside, take a tighter line for this turn, but it's not gonna translate into a good exit. And the 22 is gonna run away onto what could be their final lap of the race.
Let's hope they can continue this one tooth and nail. There's an opportunity as they're climbing up. Yeah, exactly. It's the first turn.
But Biggles. This time, Ethan Lamp is coming through the final corner. And I believe this time, he is going to win the race. Now it's a trifecta. We tried our best to commentate cursive and play ignorance, but we just couldn't do it. But we're going to put our attention now to Gary Colley and Derek Stack. That is the battle happening right now. It is for 7th place on the field, but you know what? I don't think it's going to be any change. It looks like he's just a little too far back. It's going to have to be a heroic dive bomb into turn 3. Don't quite think he's going to get it, and he's not, unfortunately. So it's going to be Gary Colley. If he could just hold it cleanly for the next few bit of the race, for the next little bit of the race, he'll come home a solid.
He's got these S's. Got these S's for sure, so he could possibly get it done.
True, but you know what? It is easy to carry momentum through S's, but not when there's a car ahead of you right on the racing line. All that being said, actually, got a bit of a better run there. The 610's right on the back again, same as what it was last lap. Last ditch effort. Very close. Oh, getting very close. Yeah. Getting a run. He's going to go to the inside again. No, the 22 is going to cover it off. He's going to try and stick a nose in to no avail. 22, Gary Colley will finish 7th place. It's going to be 8th place for Derek Stack. What a race that was. That was very fun. We're going to wait on Max Duckle, who's out of the race. So that is the end. Everyone is finished. And Biggles,
wow.
We are done here.
Yeah, we're done for the sprint race, of course. The feature race. You didn't realize that we do have now a 100% race coming up in just a sec after a 5-minute now. I'm just kidding, of course, guys. That it would be in. We'll see if we can grab some of these drivers in for an interview in a minute, of course. Give them a bit of a breather. We're still waiting for Riley Sullivan to bring his car home this evening.
Oh, come on, dude. No, they're not. Everyone's disconnecting. Although I did finish 11th. I beat Sean. I beat Sean.
Yep.
Yeah, so, well, before we go to the interviews, I will go through the race order. The end of the feature race. It's Ethan Lamp wins in dominant fashion, 13 seconds ahead of Aiden Aquino. So those top 2 in the championship stay 1 and 2. Will Wiseroll gets his first podium of the season, finishing 9 seconds back of Aiden Aquino. He finishes P3 in the sprint, getting that podium he was robbed of in the sprint race. My bad. He gets his podium in the feature race, so it's worth more points at least. Tommy Lee Cogan comes home in 4th place, and then followed by Keegan Scott, running in pretty much no man's land the whole race. But you know what? Quiet man likes a quiet race, I guess. Can't really fault him for that. Jake Jackson is in 6th place, and he will be not too thrilled with that. He had some decent pace all weekend, had pretty bad luck. Then Gary Colley and Derek Stack had the absolute battle of battles towards the end of that race there. They were the entertainment, finishing 1/10 apart. And then 12 laps down, you had Max Ducklow, the only retirement from this race. We're done here. On to interviews. We'll
Yeah,
be back.
on to interviews, of course, exactly. So don't forget to check out our sponsors and stuff. While you have a little bit of time, they head over to Driver61, of course. Use the ARC discount code and save 25% off your services. You can also help by donating if you have any spare change on your pocket there for helping out for the PayPal for the Apollo Racing Club. And, of course, Grid Finder. So, yeah, we'll get these gladiators. Give him a bit of a breather. We'll give Secret a breather because he's about to lose his voice before we go to interviews. So don't go anywhere.
And we're back now for interviews. We're in the cool down room, the chill room here in Apollo Racing Club. We're joined by a couple of the drivers here, and in no particular order, just going to interview them about their experiences in this race. So we're going to start off with the man who gets his first podium of the season, Will Weisbrod III. Will, you up and down weekend. Unfortunate sprint race. You got taken out while leading, or you just spun while leading, but at the same time, you fought it back. Third place. What are your thoughts on both the incident and your recovery drive in the feature?
I mean, first off, to start, qualifying was tight. This wasn't a race I got a ton of practice for, so I was actually really pleasantly surprised with being able to show a little bit of pace. I wasn't sure I was going to make it tonight, so to turn that into a podium is pretty awesome. But the sprint race hurt, man. Like, I was leading that. Aiden and I were pretty close to each other. He was kind of following me, and then he just went for a pretty late move up into the S's. Not high percentage, and I guess I didn't really predict that to happen. He's a great driver, so that unfortunately took me out, and then I got involved to another bumper cars event with Keegan. Tried to run it back, but definitely happy to recover in the feature race tonight.
Yep, and it will help you out in the championship quite a bit. I don't quite know how much because I wasn't keeping track of it. I am not nearly good enough at math to do that on the fly, but that definitely will help you out, that P3, and in the feature race too, so it is worth more points. So I guess a little bit of a happy ending for you then.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't really have the privilege of competing for the championship in this season. I travel for an IndyCar team, as a lot of the guys in ARC know. So I make a few races here and there when I can. So I'm happy to compete and race against these guys. It's a good time. Of course, I get frustrated sometimes as well, but it's always good to have a podium finish. And even though I can't compete for the championship, I still like to see my name up towards the top of that board.
And it was towards the top at the end of the day today, and you know what? feature race, be proud of it. So, Will, thanks a lot. Can't wait to see more of you. Maybe, I don't know. I might get fired after this one race. I'm just enjoying it all again.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No
Yeah.
problem.
That's Will. Thank
Next.
you. Good on you. Yep. We got a next.
Yeah, we got Gary in here. Gary Colley. You had a pretty fun race. I think you were the one I nearly blew out my voice commentating over. Bit all over the place. Wild one. What were your thoughts? Gary?
I think Gary's muted or something there.
Gary
So
is
yeah,
not in the vicinity.
he's obviously
of
very
his
excited too
microphone.
much because he's down there in pit lane with the champagne there. Well, we'll go real quick there. I mean, to Jake, I guess, because Jake, Jake Jackson, that finished
yep.
in P6. So, Jake, are you any words to say about this event weekend here?
I mean, I had a really good qualifying. Starting third, probably my best start this season. Unfortunately, spun on lap 2, battling some of the guys. I think battling Tommy and Derek on lap 2 of the sprint. Did manage to drive back, finish 5th with other people having some off-track excursions, and then the feature race got caught up in a little thing on lap 1 as well. But it's all for fun. I know I'm not probably going to be fighting for wins with some of those crazy fast guys, but it is fun having the battles with the midfield pack. So hopefully the next track I can have a little bit of better luck, but all in all, it was a fun race.
And you said that thing about the midfield pack in the middle of the broadcast when it was getting a bit more quiet. We kind of compared the midfield pack and this kind of the midfield in F1. Do you think the midfield pack here is it's closer than at the front? Do you think the racing is a bit more close quarters, a bit more wheel to wheel, maybe a little bit bangy bangy, or do you think it's kind of equally respectful all around and maybe going to space out a little bit more as the season goes on?
I think everyone's pretty much on similar pace. So pretty much every race we've had so far this season has been 4, 5 cars battling through the first few laps, and then people will make their mistakes here and there, and that's where we really see like the positions gained or lost. But everyone races, they race hard, elbows out, but nothing too crazy where we're just having a wreck fest. It's all nice with the manners, but definitely everyone's fighting for their positions and trying to get a podium.
Absolutely, Jake, and that was we saw that today. It was definitely elbows out, but it was not a wreck fest. That's another game. This is iRacing, and
Sure.
yeah, it was good. There was a lot of the sprint race was absolutely exciting, and the feature race, of course, very exciting at the start there. Towards the end, it got even more spicy. So that's what you should go expect here. The first time we've actually broadcasted the F4 Championship. So now you guys are under the spotlight, so you can step out of the shadows and into the spotlight even more, because we'll continue to cast this as we go on to round 6. So thank you very much, Jake and Will. You guys can hang around. We'll have a post cool down room chat, but not on the air. And so yeah, over at Secret, of course, remember our fantastic sponsors out there of the Grid Finder, as well as Drive Up 51, if I get that one correctly. Sorry, if you know that. And if you want to be a part of this Apollo Racing Club and earn some money, perhaps there's rewards, prizes, and all that sort of jazz. Hit the Discord button, hit the website, Twitter, everything. It's all out there. It's right there. It's right there. Just click it. It's done. It's easy. So that's it from me. And you can wrap it up there, Secret.
Yeah, it's it from you. It's it from me. But be sure to tune in again next week as we're off to one of the jewel races of the calendar by the looks. We're off to Sebring for a 1-race event. It was just one feature race. That'll be it. The winner will take home 50 points in that one. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be carnage. Formula cars at Sebring. Who thought that one was a good idea? Someone who loves watching fun stuff happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Apollo Racing Club, and this has been F4 Cars. I've been Secret, joined by one of the best co-commentators in the world, Biggles, and we will see you all next time. I'm gonna go get fired by the admins now. Bye!